Anyway,
Right.
hello, welcome to Life Under Lockdown. We are once again continuing our journey through lockdown by meeting various people. Some we know, some we don't know, and some we know very well. Sancta, Familia Media, Brian and myself is the Queen of Lanark herself, Grace Abernethy. So welcome, Grace. Good to see you again.
John, that's a sort of overstatement, is it not?
Well, I don't want to put my foot in it. I know Lanark politics are very, very set in their way with the Lanimer Day and things. So maybe I'll retract that one.
I'll go with it. Sashing lady, perhaps, but not queen. Okay.
So how is lockdown for you in Lanark, Grace?
Well, actually, John, for us as Sandy and I as a couple, it's really been, I love to use the word wonderful, because so many people are suffering and in distress, etc. But we have benefited from it and learned an awful lot, and we go to bed at night deeply satisfied and having fulfilled days, achieved what we wanted to achieve. And it's really been for us very, very, as I say, loath to say words that, but we are getting through it very, very well with the help of many good friends and neighbours.
Of course, because of course that would not give me too much personal details, but Sandy was a major operation a few years ago, and given the nature of this virus, you both have to be very careful, you know.
We have indeed, and we are doing so. In fact, we're lapping it up, actually, because when we go back to normal, or the new normal, whatever, I'm not going to get all these lovely scones and things still warm, lying on the doorstep, you know, and it's, we're enjoying all that bit of it.
You know, it's funny because you're talking about the good things, but you're actually, when I see your Facebook and your posts you're doing every day, you actually put me out of breath how much you're active, doing things in the garden and getting things prepared, and all your connections with technology, because you of course run are involved with the St Mary's Lanark Facebook page and social media. How is that going just now?
I'm actually loving it, John. I'm loving it. I only started on Facebook 2016, actually, when I was honoured to be asked to be sashing lady to our lovely cornet, Gordon Jess. And from there, people said, oh, you must go on Facebook because people are saying this, people are saying that. So I went on Facebook, and at first I was a bit sceptical because I'd heard all sorts of tales about it. But it's turned out to be really, I just love it. I just love it. And then getting involved in, at my tender years, getting involved in Facebook on the web, you know, on the St Mary's site, and being responsible for what's written there is quite an undertaking. But Father Doyle, as you know, gives me wonderful feed, and I just sort of dig it up a wee bit. And from Facebook, I've also learned quite a few new skills. And I now have a couple of different apps. So if you watch Facebook, you'll see all my fancy stuff with doing different wording and different colouring and all that. So it's wonderful. Love it.
No, I think that's a great example you're setting for other people, because people, as you say, they get to more mature age, they're worried about social media, they're worried about technology, and yet when it comes to a time like this, where we're all locked down, we're all separated from each other, it's a really good thing for bringing people together across the world, really, you know.
Absolutely, absolutely, because you hear from people, as you know, I mean, you have millions of followers. I've got 100.
I wouldn't say millions. This is the second exaggeration after the Queen of Lanark. This is the second.
Another exaggeration. But St Mary's has come up. We're absolutely thrilled because starting from very, very little, we, over the past, maybe 8 months or so, we now have about 1,300 followers, which is quite good for our church. And you feel you're open to a lot of a wider group of people, and you meet again, people see the name and they come on and they say, is that St Mary's such and such and thing, you know, and then they see a name and they remember them from 20, 30, 40 years ago, or their mother knew Mary so and so, would that be the same? So it's great. I just love it.
No, it's a good. I think it's reflective, really, of how me and Brian did a big project in St Mary's in Lanark. I think we were really impressed with the time we were there by not only the beauty of that church. It's a really stunning church. If you haven't seen it and you're watching, once lockdown's done, I certainly recommend you pay a visit to St Mary's.
Thank you, John.
Fantastic place, really historical, really beautiful church. But not just that, it's the people in it as well. It's the community there that, that's what's interesting me. But this lockdown situation, how has it affected the community in Lanark, which was always very tight knit?
Yes, well, I think they've really come together. I really do think so. Our church apart, all the other, it's an ecumenical place, Lanark, and we have Lanark Churches United, where all the various ministers and priests join together, and they have meetings, etc. And at the very moment, Mr. Kerr down at Greyfriars, he streams Sunday services, etc. And unfortunately, we can't get Father Doyle talked into doing a wee service or a mass, but we're working on it. But all these things, and they're still all coming together. And we have a COVID-19 group who are looking after people. And in our church itself, St Mary's, we have many volunteers who each week take it upon themselves to phone. I think they've got a list of 6 or 8 people, and they phone to try and keep the parishioners in touch with each other. And if they need anything, they're there to help. So lots of
you've got a lovely story that really demonstrates, the kind of community spirit and the community, how familiar people are in Lanark with each other over lockdown. Maybe you told me before we came on air that this really quite a funny story.
Oh, the ring story.
Yeah.
That's very, very. I think that's absolutely. I just love it. Cut it short. Husband Sandy. 16 years ago this year, we got engaged, and Sandy has always worn his engagement ring. I took it off for the day we got married, and the wedding ring needed a wee bit of alteration. So he put it for about 2 or 3 days, and then it got put in the drawer, never to be seen again, because he just liked his engagement ring. So engagement ring always worn. And then about, as we've said, Sandy had been very, very ill 3 years ago, and thanks be to God, that was all wonderfully sorted out by an absolutely dear surgeon in Golden Jubilee, who took upon himself to do this, knowing that the risks were very, very high, came through it, all that. Anyway, Sandy lost quite a lot of weight, and with that, about a year ago, he had lost, the ring got lost. We looked high and low, and prayers to St Anthony weren't answered at that time, but so lost the ring, end of story. On Tuesday last week, we had a phone call from a lady who said that she had lost her engagement ring. Her wedding ring. And she had hunted up and down. She knew it was in Hope Street in Lanark somewhere. Couldn't find it, and she was very distraught. So her husband went back out to look for it, and he looked down all the gutters everywhere. And lo and behold, he saw this mangled piece of metal, and picked it up, brought it home, washed it down, and although the band is totally destroyed, believe it or not, you can read the inscription which says, "Grace to Sandy forever, August 1960. As clear as anything. So the gentleman looked at it and said, well, there's only one Grace and Sandy I know. And wife phoned Sandy, and it turns out that it was found by a member of the St Mary's Men Club, of which Sandy is a member. So we've got the ring returned, and although it is in dire need of repair, we'll have a good wee look at it and see. I think it's worth repairing. I think it is. It's worth it, I think. So we're absolutely thrilled by that. That has been quite a highlight.
No, it's wonderful. That demonstrates, just once again how, such a caring community Lanark is. One question that's burning in my mind is, the famous Hugh Kennedy. How is Hugh, and how is he struggling? Because he's always been in St Mary's every day you're there. He's always there, and now in lockdown, what's happening?
Hugh is the big miss of my life, but we talk most days, and he can still tell me all. He's a great favourite at the moment of going to 9:30 Mass at St John the Baptist in Uddingston, and he can tell you every word of every homily, and he just loves it. So, in fact, I was speaking to him yesterday. It keeps me up to date with all that's going on, although he's confined to barracks, but he's still our Hughie, and a world of information about St Mary's.
Oh.
Absolutely tremendous.
It'll be rare to go after lockdown ends to get back out there and all this information.
Oh my goodness, can you imagine? Can you imagine? But you know, that's one of the things that has struck me about all this, John. You know, friendship and talking and the different groups of friends that you have. And our, the church community, our church family. As soon as that church is open, won't it be wonderful to go in there and see this beautiful, beautiful place again, and have a blether with all the characters that you know, because there are so many characters in St Mary's. Stories could be told forever. As in Lanark in general, there are a lot of worthies.
Well, you know, it's good that you're such an inspiration because you're both, as a couple, very, very positive, given this real challenge for people, and you're keeping active, you're keeping busy, you're keeping up to speed with connection, you're keeping in touch with your faith. So really, I think you're a model example of how we face the lockdown, and it will pass. It will eventually go away, this virus and contagion.
It will. We were, in one way, I was eased into the situation, John, because as you know, all the bits of me have stopped working, and they're replacing me bit by bit. So we've had the second hip done last July, and then we had the first knee done, replaced, all titanium and all sorts of stuff in January. And of course the other one can't be done as yet. But I was a wee bit conditioned. I couldn't get to morning mass. So therefore my days had changed to start with. And even at weekends, there was many, many weekends I couldn't get. And after the operation in January, I wasn't at morning mass, and I got to evening mass on a Saturday quite a few times because the time suited, and you know, all the pills and all that business. Anyway, I was eased into this lockdown situation, which has made it much less difficult, really, believe that or not. And of course, we're not TV fans, we're not sit on your bottom fans. So the two of us go at it, but then we've been blessed with the strength to do it.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's
more than that.
Yeah, and also if people are watching this video and thinking, I recognise Grace, I recognise her voice. Grace is sometimes a guest narrator in some of her Sancta Familia productions. She caused a polemic a few years ago when she pronounced, was it the eldest or was it the youngest? Can you tell us exclusively what you actually said?
I'm sitting at the self-same table that we had such fun at that night, hadn't we, narrating that? And it seemed quite clear that it was the eldest. I don't even know to this day whether I said eldest or youngest. So I'm no use at, hands up, no use at making a decision on that.
People watching this will remember that polemic because people were hearing eldest, people were definitely hearing youngest, and no one could decide. I mean,
no.
It was really, really good fun.
It really was. And as I say, I listened to it. Once you put that wee bit on Sancta Familia, I listened to it, and I could not make a decision what I had said. We need to ask sisters what the truth is of the matter.
No, so yeah, I need to do that as well. Well, anyway, thank you, Grace, for your time. I know you're rearing and on with whatever you're doing today, probably something busy, you know.
Yes.
But we'll keep you in our prayers, and we'll keep Father Doyle and Hugh and the rest of the community down there in Lanark and
Thank you so much, John. It's we're all great fans of Sancta Familia.
Oh, thanks very much.
So you've got a lot of fans here. So I hear a lot about you on our Facebook and things like that.
Oh,
so
well,
keep good work going and the good work going, and we'll look forward to your future productions.
That's great. We look forward to you once again back in Lanark for a wee Valarios.
Thank you very much. See you soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye.